Well, by now, you know that the minority in parliament staged a walkout just before President Kufuor presented his State of the Nation address. Clad in black attires, the parliamentarians of the opposition walked out right after the national anthem was sung, leaving behind placards with their concerns. The minority then addressed the media, stating reasons for the walkout. In an exclusive interview with my colleague Daniel Datsi, minority leader Haruna Idrisu said many of the officers making up the contingent at the State of the Nation address were former vigilante members.
As you notice, we're in black to protest imminent threats to the sustenance of multi-party constitutional democracy and to reject the tyrannical tendencies of President Nana Addo Dankwa and to reject his attempt to interfere with the Electoral Commission to compile a voter register that, as cautiously warned by the U.S. State Department, may lead to voter suppression, particularly in the NDC strongholds. We are particularly alarmed as the President's refusal to recommend the recommendations of the Emil Short Commission report arising out of the Ayawasu West Wagon by-election in January 2019. The President continues to shield his indicted appointees, even as that threatens the peace and stability of our country and its democracy. I mean, what happened in Ayawasu West Wagon was state-sponsored terrorism, when you have people use state authority, state resources, state power to intimidate a political opponent. It's not the same thing as justifying an MPP-NDC rivalry or conflict or fight that may end regrettably or unfortunately. But state-sponsored, can you imagine what will happen to the state and republic? December 7, 2020, if we have a repeat of that in just parts of the country or substantial parts of the country, and we are particularly concerned that many of their vigilantes have found their way into the security agencies, and we doubt whether their loyalty will be to the state or to the new patriotic party. If you are comfortable with vigilante groups going into the Ghana Police Service, God bless you. If you are comfortable with the continuous closure of radio, FM station and television station, and you are dear to democracy, God bless you.
With the vigilante groups that you say have infiltrated the security services, the Peace Council is currently taking part in talks between the NDC and the MPP to root out these groups. The NDC has refused to sign the document.
Yeah, because of the insincerity associated with some of these dialogue processes. You openly see MPP vigilantes being absorbed. Today, you didn't see them as you were entering. They offended us off to walk out.
So it's because of them that you walked out?
You saw the SWAT group. You saw them. They were deployed. We can't accept them.
So is it because of the presence of the SWAT group that you walked out?
It is part of our reason. We elevated it and we considered it, but when we saw them, then we say our democracy is in danger.
Meanwhile, the majority members are questioning the moral rights of the minority to participate in the debates of the State of the Nation address they boycotted. Let's listen to the Communications Minister, Ursula Owusu-Ekufo.
Responsibility to the constituents who voted them into office to listen to their constitutional requirement of the President delivering his State of the Nation address to Parliament. But as the President indicated, it's a sign of things to come. Nature abhors a vacuum. They would also stage a walkout in the 2020 December polls, and we will occupy the entire space on the House in the country. After all, as the President indicated, what they were unable to do in their 16 years in power, we have done in 3 years. And so the government and people, the government is in very solid hands, focused, dynamic. dynamic. We are delivering on our mandate to the Ghanaian people. They've shown clearly that they are completely clueless when it comes to governance. They are totally visionless when it comes to delivering on a policy for growing this economy and steering the affairs of state. It's not for me to say, but the people of Ghana are witnesses to it. Now, if indeed the president has said something offensive, which they were reacting to, it would have been understood. But staging a walkout, which is uncalled for, totally without reason, it looks as if they've taken leave of their senses, excuse me to say, particularly when their leadership also indulges in this completely unnecessary and senseless exercise.
Now on their reasoning, they will be speaking at 1 p.m., but we have got some indication from them that your ministry may be passed. They name the closure of radio stations as a sign that your government is undemocratic, among other reasons, that your government is undemocratic.
The law says, and they've tested the law in all the courts in the Electronic Communications Tribunal and lost. They filed matters before the court and discontinued those matters. How is it undemocratic? You are enjoined. There are rules governing the conduct of every activity in this country. We have laws passed by this House, which they, as lawmakers, ought to respect. So if you have a radio station which has been operating for 16 years without renewing its authorization, and it is shut down in accordance to law, you take it to the tribunal, and the tribunal says the NCA was right in what it is doing. You attempt it in court and you are thrown out. How is it undemocratic?
In the case
do they believe in the enforcement of our laws or not? You cannot pick and choose which laws to enforce when it suits you. Laws passed by this House, and we all swore an oath to respect and obey the Constitution and the laws of this land. Are they telling us that they will respect the laws that they are comfortable with, and what they are not comfortable with? They have no business being legislators if that is their attitude to the governance of this country. That's why I'm saying they're totally clueless, visionless, directionless, and purposeless, and obviously leaderless and rudderless. They have no idea what it means to govern this country. If they are legislators worth their salt, they will uphold the Constitution and the laws of this land in its entirety.
In the spirit of upholding the Constitution, I've heard your chief whip mention that you will not allow the minority to take part in the debate of the State of the Nation.
What would they be debating?
Is that also not lawless?
What would they be debating?
But the principle is...
What will they be debating?
The principle...
No, they boycotted the presentation of the State of the Nation.
But it's not your place
what would they be debating? It is the duty of the Speaker to regulate the conduct of activities in the House.
Not the majority.
It is up to the Speaker to rule upon it.
That members of your side have said that they will not allow, they will make sure that the minority side does not debate.
What will they be debating? That's the point I'm asking.
The question is it lawful?
You were
the
not
question
part
I am asking is it lawful?
presentation of the State of the Nation address. You didn't deem it worth your time to sit and listen to it. What moral right? What right do you have to go and debate matters you heard outside the chamber, reported by the media when you were not there?
So where did the minority MPs go after the boycott? Well, they spent time in their offices watching the president on television, whilst others left the premises with their offices locked. My colleague Joseph Opoku Gakpo visited some of them.
President is delivering the State of the Nation address. Why are you not in the chamber?
Yeah, as a minority, we decided that we'll walk out of the zona for a number of reasons. That's why after the national anthem, we decided to go out. Our walking out is a protest for Ghanaians to know that this nation the democracy that we have is under serious threat. And if we don't begin this way, I don't think we will have a future for this country.
How will a walkout of the president's address fix this concern that you raised?
Yeah, it's a message we are sending to the president that we are representing the people, and the people are saying what you are doing is not good. So you must change your position. And that is what the message we want to go out to the president.
So we're continuing our visits to the offices of MPs to find out what they are doing. Richard Koshiga is the MP for the Keta constituency. So what have you been doing over the last hour or so since you, the minority, walked out of the chamber?
Well, as you can see, I'm in my office listening to the address being given by the president. So that's what I've been doing, listening to the president in my office.
If you really wanted to listen to him, wouldn't it have worked better you sitting in the chamber and listening to him than to walk away to your office to come listen to him?
Well, of course, that's a decision we in a minority took, not to be in the chamber, by way of protest and to register our displeasure of the happenings in our country.
I've come to the office of the Member of Parliament for Odododiodio Neil Antivandapoy. Let's see what's happening here. Oops. Well, the office is closed, but I can hear the television in the background. Is he here or he's out? Well, maybe he's not here.
Joseph Opoku Gakpo there. Well, questioning still remains. Will they participate in the debate arising out of an address that they clearly walked out on? It will be some interesting days ahead. And we're told that they're going to take that decision. We will let you know first here on JoyNews.